I have it. My week is the 5th week, but I don't want to go when it's snowing anymore. It's nice to visit. And
Yeah, well, I want to actually go and take my boys for the winter, potentially for the winter, just because they have, have a little.
hey, everybody. Hey.
All right, let's get this meeting started. Thursday, February 23rd, 6:08 p.m. Establish a quorum. We got myself, Mark, and John are present. Who do we have on Zoom?
We have Will, we have Johanna.
And Mac.
I'm back.
And
Beautiful. So we have a quorum. Approval of prior minutes. Everyone get a chance to look at prior minutes? Do we have any questions on that?
I motion to accept.
Second? All those in favor?
Seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Officer reports. I don't have much, just access control. I'm going to actually be finishing it at the gym this weekend, and I'm set to go live March 1st. I will also send out a follow-up post this weekend once I finish about that. And as soon as I get that done and posted, anyone that does not have a new badge, it still requires one, please come see Jennifer at the Lake House Monday through Friday 9 to 5. She can hook you up with one. But those hours will go into effect March 1st. Community managers report. Betty.
I might try.
Do you want me to go through it, Patty? I had it pulled up right here.
Okay.
Would you like to?
Yeah.
It's up to you. All right, board meeting Thursday, February 23rd, 2023, location virtual and Lake House management report. I have been combining the landscape bids and will be reviewing at the board meeting. There are 3 companies: Cornerstone, Yellowstone, and Sunrise Landscape. They were all given the same request for proposal and mainly have submitted all of the information. I, being Patty, have created a spreadsheet to confirm it is easy to understand, and all of them are being compared the same. I've also broken down the different options in the spreadsheet to include irrigation, fertilization, and pest control, and the basic maintenance contract. There is also a single proposal for Ballinger irrigation to bid separately. I have not found large enough other companies to bid on the irrigation separately from the landscape company. I've met with First Flooring Company for the fitness room. They will be providing the proposal before the meeting. Do we get that?
No, they did not.
Okay. There is a proposal for a trumpet tree at the lake house to replace the one that was removed after the storm. This pricing is being done by the crew at Sunrise, not a bucket truck. This is a large cost savings. I met with another pressure washing company to submit a proposal for the cleaning of the retaining wall on Colonial Glen and Sagewood and the Perryville section. The best time for pressure washing is late March, early April to keep the mold from growing back before the year is up. The engineer and attorney came to inspect the property for builder defects on Thursday the 9th. Once we have more information from the attorney, the board will need to set up a town hall for each of the service areas and then the single family homes for informational purposes. Sagewood, there are multiple proposals for replacement that have been tabled since last month and will be on the agenda this month. There is an erosion issue in approximately 5 villas. There is a proposal to repair one location as a test case. This unit is one of the most serious of the issues. Once confirmed it works, it is suggested that the CUNY schedule the other 4 proposed. Pool maintenance. Pool contract is being bid out. There will be other proposals within the next month. Companies that are scheduled to meet and walk to the pool have not shown up and now looking for at least one company more. The Westlake fence. The irrigation drip was installed by Ballinger Irrigation and the plants should be installed next week for the completion of the fence line. The pressure washing was completed in January and not all owners understood the water being used was not required by the owners. The vendor used water of owners only if the company discussed it with the owner prior to using their water. Management did have the discussion with the company to supply the water prior to arriving. Maintenance items. There's been a request from the weekly billiards team to have better fans installed before the summer, i.e. working fans. I have asked JR to provide the information to present to the board. I'm in the process of getting a proposal from a handyman company to install ceiling fans like the ones at the back of the lake house. And lastly, there is a broken shutter, about 20 pieces that were kicked out at the pool, and the handyman is going to figure out how to repair it without having to replace the entire shutter. A proposal will be during the month of March due to locating and creating the small tabs that have been broken. That concludes the manager's report.
Perfect. Thank you, Patty and Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
I got you, Patty.
Okay, we have, I'm sorry, maintenance report. JR, do we have anything?
As far as what I've been doing,
Anything to report?
nothing in particular, I've been prepared on the playground, I've done some more, troubleshooting on some of the lights. Just numerous projects, regular things. It's cleaning up the very, very filthy pump outs in this morning, so.
Community, I'm sorry, committee reports. Do we have any committee reports?
Yes.
You want to do the finance report?
Do you want?
Do you want to?
Sure.
Well, you can.
Okay.
Otherwise. Would have done it.
I was gonna do it too. No, it was me. Oh, the chat part isn't coming on.
I turned it on.
No,
You look in the agenda, there's an explanation.
sure enough. I kept looking for it, I'm like.
All right, so currently, pleased to say that we do have, as of the end of February, as of today, two of the service areas being Westlake and Sagewood,
Correction, Sandpiper.
or yeah, well, Westlake and Sandpiper are going ahead operating at in the positive, $6,385 and change for Westlake. Sandpiper has a surplus right now of $142,000, $21,000 in operating funds for the master. This doesn't include any of the prepays, which for any of you that may be looking at this, those are liabilities, so we can't touch them until the next month when they start being pulled off of people's expenses.
Did you just say stage one was operating
No,
plus Sandpiper?
Westlake and Sandpiper.
Okay.
Um,
I was looking.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were good.
Unfortunately, as of right now, because both Parables and Sagewood carried negative deficits over from last year. Parables still has $18,000 deficit. Sagewood has a $32,000 deficit. So that will go ahead and take effect in basically having issues with a lot of your repairs that you have put requests in. It'll take time in order to build back up so that we aren't going ahead and taking credits and rolling over your negative deficits further into the future.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, just in a nutshell, when they're in the red like that, they're gonna go black. We know they're gonna go black. But we're trying not to do our best to not spend in those areas of which are red until we get them in the black. If an emergency situation came up, we could pull out of contingencies to pay for it, but we're just attempting not to spend in that. There. Any other committee reports?
Sean asked me to update on the bushes for the burn.
Okay.
He's gonna pick them up in mid-March. They have the money for it, so it's not gonna be an issue. So he's gonna pick them up mid-March and have them put in because the drip line was already done. So that's ready to go. Collections, we have 31 homes in collections currently and 60 late letters went out this month.
Okay, so currently we currently have 31 homes in collection. And as far as the burn that I know Sean has been working on with the Westlake Committee, he should be picking up those photocarpus sometime mid-March and then getting them installed. Drip line's already in effect, so we're good to go. Thank you. Joanna?
Yeah,
sorry.
so, yeah, that's all right. If you're ready, I'll go over the social committee. We're still, I know we have to, I think you were going to send me some things to, for the list. And then, of course, but we have the event.
No, go ahead, Joanne, and I'm sorry. I know there's a delay.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so we're going to have the event coming up this Saturday, and I'm currently coordinating and talking with working out some the details for the Easter event is the next thing I think that we have on the horizon. I think I sent some of the lists of things, of quotes of things we're going to try to get in advance and get it ready. I've already got in contact with our Easter Bunny lady. She is a volunteer. She does it for free. And she's already said she's going to come out and be able to do photos, which is great. And I'm working on getting some volunteers, of course, to do distribution as well to put out the eggs and everything. So we're going to have to put out notice on that, and going to be working on getting that all ready and run out after we following this coming event. So that's kind of what's in our horizon. We'll have a meeting hopefully scheduled coming up next month or sooner. We'll see.
Perfect. Thank you, Joanne. And just to reiterate loud and clear, we do have a bounce party this weekend, Saturday, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. over at Central Park Pool, right behind the pool. In front of the pool, from 5 to 7, we're having a food truck rally. There's going to be a DJ and 4 food trucks out there. So bring the kids, come jump around, come up front and eat. We're going to have a good time. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, they're not ready.
I'll give a brief overview as liaison. Just off there, everybody's liaison to the Safety and Security Board. They met for the first time on February 8th. They covered a variety of issues, the ideas for the lake house, the pool, and the off-hours amenity access. Some other items they're still discussing. They meet regularly, weekly, correct? Yep. And they're going. John is the head of the security committee. And anything else that you want to add?
So. So just waiting on those.
Where the top.
Well, one of them got completely knocked off because it got through. Sheriff's office. And I think it was the school parking issues. It's just. It's up to. It's just. It's a full house, and then, I'm heading up to the. Do it, trying to get a. Just here, not saying. We'll update you on that. Next week.
That'd be great to get that assessment done, because as people may or may not know, 2 days ago, at the intersection of Watercolor and Town Center, a child was hit on a bike by a hit and run driver.
So then I also agree on to then. It's pretty. People. Cybersecurity for the people. So. Yeah, more follow, but we're.
So we had an update. So we had an update in that 14.
Yeah, well, definitely by next quarter, yeah, we should have something. Wait for that. So it just takes time to really. Figure out what are the pain points.
Thank you, John. Yes, sir.
Can I add one thing to your list? Is there a way to stop the semi trucks that are coming in by Mosaic and going around 2 traffic circles and then going on down the way out? I don't really care, but we've already paid for having one of those traffic circles rebuilt. And they're still coming through, and they're still too long for the traffic.
Sir, I agree with you 100%, and I've seen.
And I understand, I'm not saying that everyone makes support, it's not your fault. You did this. I'm walking in there. Well, and they're getting ready to build it on the entrance to safety. But now, he's small, he gets around the corner.
Yeah, so here would be my recommendation is you tackle this on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's one of the line that is, you get down to. Yeah, we'll put that away.
You might have.
Put a sign in there. Then, that's the thing, it's about. That's a gallon. We'll add that for the extra, you know, that. Didn't think so.
We've had the same problems before, getting it repaired, and it's taken years just to get it repaired.
Yeah, the speed used to add the speed is up, and the traffic is up, and the double page, roughly, I think it was 30 days. to complete. And according to, I think I have to request CDP, put that request into account. And that takes 30 days, and apparently there's a threshold, I think it's like 65 to 70% of traffic has to be speeding, but then consider next steps.
I think we got that.
Oh, but I'm just like, you know, they don't have it online.
Yeah.
And what our plan is to do is to start having a safety, safety tips, and what, and roll into the 2 offerings. Which is not, no cost. We're looking at the department that, that's where we're, I'm part of the team that has to do all sorts of reporting, stolen data, all of this, yeah, it's all well over.
Thank you very much, John.
Thanks, John. Okay, tabled items. Do we want to talk about any tabled items? No, I don't think so, not at this time. Not exactly flush with cash, and there are other things we have to spend money. Old business, options to allow metal roofing. We have a lot of roofing here. I believe Kathy worked on it diligently with Mac, perhaps.
It was mainly Kathy and Patty.
Kathy and thanks, Matt. All right, we have True Nature roof tiles, Canadian-based company in business for 92 years, interlocking metal tiles, which can be installed over 1 layer of shaker tiles. Can withstand 200 miles per hour wind gusts, 50+ year warranty on materials, 40 years fade and chipping, 2 to 3 week turnaround on delivery, noise level significantly less than a normal metal roof. Suggested styles and colors: Cedar Creek shake, antique brown, burnished slate,
Cedar Creek shade. This is Northridge slate.
terracotta, coastal wave, barrel tiles,
Cedar Creek shade.
This one was on there.
Harvest.
Okay.
And then we have them in the book, so. We're gonna go on looking at the community and which the colors was currently there. And these are the textures that you can get from just this one company,
It just says 3 companies total, and there's Westlake Royal Roofing Solutions.
which is actually a steel coated, so they have the metal and then it's actually, when you touch it.
So it looks like a shingle.
So it looks like a shingle.
That is-
Anybody in the, you want to check these out?
Yeah, if anyone wants to see anything, feel free. No, the whole community.
Well, how would you do that safe with one home doesn't want that there?
It's a good question. We haven't hit that, but it still would be an option. The idea is to give another option to allow.
Different.
And so went through the block major hurricanes, last major hurricane back in 2004, very dramatic. After that one hurricane, 60 to 70%, if not more, new builds only put dancing roof, metal roof on there because of the issue with the flapping of sheets. And that once one starts off, you got lucky that last one that we went through. The only case, you got to lucky. So that's what I actually proposed based on that. Consider the metal roof.
Yeah, I get that, but in a place like your building, I really was saying. Because you do not want half the house being metal and half the other being something else. I've seen developments that have case and there are.
No, I don't understand that. I'm just looking at it from the safety perspective.
I don't think the HOA would speak for this HOA. We wouldn't allow a mismatch like that. So it would, you know, if they couldn't be in agreement to do metal, then shingle. It's just another option people were looking for, and I think it's a good one.
So we want a motion to
Well,
approve?
We do, but let me finish this real quick, Johanna.
Okay.
Westlake Royal Solutions, there's a stone coated steel purchased through, those are them, okay, those are them, purchased through Beacon Distribution. 50-year warranty, fully transferable. Suggested styles and colors are to be determined. Do we want to determine that now?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at those. What do you want?
That orange one on top. Does that have my- yes.
So these are all the same company,
Mhm.
just different styles.
With different styles and colors, yep.
Can I ask a question generally while we're getting those out? Have we considered with people putting solar panels in?
That's also on here too.
On the,
It's number 3, I gotta go.
okay.
Everyone to their own. I hate this color, but that's just me. I don't think we have anything in the neighborhood that's really like this unless it's a terracotta, in
The
which
terra-
case it looks great.
Yes, and the terracotta.
Yeah, I would say Gregory taught me that I would say no to that one. That color looks, I like the darker ones.
Yeah. These look fine.
But the ones that are terracotta and want to replace it. it's
That
close
is
to
true
that
too.
color.
What's the darker?
What is it? What? I'm sorry.
Due to the
What's
air
the
conditioning.
darker? The air conditioning.
I don't know.
We don't pay them.
I don't know.
We're just,
This is just telling you the application.
We're adding options. Right now, people don't have the option to do a metal roof, so we don't want to pick a color that's not already in the community.
I think the point here is to get a set of pre-approved colors, and then if they want something different, put it in our request.
Right.
If it's decent looking and matches
Oh,
the
no,
existing
these are
that
fine.
approved. Pink, then maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. What do we want to do? This? I think this is common.
And the brown, the black. And then you have to worry about the textures, or you just want to worry about colors. And you do have people have that.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I was away, so I wasn't able to attend these meetings. Did any of the vendors talk about the aluminum tin color? Did they recommend it? I mean, I just came back from Central America and South America, and there was an awful lot of metal, standing seam, metal roofs, all different colors. But an awful lot of them were that silver color. I was just curious, did that come up at all? And if so, what did they say or think?
Well, here's a sample. Jen has it. Mark, you want to touch that? There. It's more of a barn style type roof. It's not as quiet. It's not as sharp looking. It's not professional looking. So that's why I didn't actually.
Yeah, that's nothing that can be installed in the community. Right. We have some. of
Okay.
that. All right, so what do we want to do with the royal roofing? Do we want to go with those? Kathy has examples here already. So nature roof tiles, it's kind of already picked. Antique brown, burnished slate, terracotta barrel tiles, and the terracotta.
Are the nature, is that these ones back here too?
Yes,
Okay.
so those are the different textures that you can get. In the first company, in True Nature. And then that is the second one.
I don't hate any of it.
I don't really hate any of it. I would maybe dump that current one. I don't care if nobody else has any objection.
And then what's the last thing? Tesla roofs?
Yeah, the last look was look at Tesla roofs. I mean, we currently allow all solar panels. It's just the way the nature.
I'm just saying, how they fit on these metal roofs, how are they gonna attach them to the house?
Yes,
Through
they-
the metal roof?
Yes.
That's the owner's,
But
what if the owner decides to put this on their house and they want to get solar panels, that's their call to make.
They do though.
they do. I asked them both companies about that. They do have a really.
But you did look at Tesla roofs, 4 times more expensive than standard solar panel, very true. Not as efficient as current solar panel, that's very true. Potential cost 100 to 150K, not covered by most insurance companies, 25-year warranty must be repaired by certified Tesla dealer. I think she's just notating here Tesla roofs in case they come up. Yeah,
They
Better
are gonna
find.
get cheaper over the years. It's just they're so new, and that's why there's so much money. And insurance didn't have any background to be able to insure it.
I would, and I would treat a Tesla roof, we don't need to, I know they have slightly different colors and variations. If someone is spending that kind of dime on getting a Tesla roof, it's just a special ARC.
Mhm.
Let it go through the process.
But it looks pretty much the same, almost like there's.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Pretty close. Okay, so we want to go with all these color options then, right?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Okay, last part here. We have met with 3 companies that offer metal roofing. Samples will be available for the board to see. For the colors and textures of different companies, there seems to be better quality of metal roofing materials. Each company has their own level of quality, although there is an investment that will continue to withstand the Florida sun. The board can choose to make the metal roofing part of the design guidelines with limitations on color, shape, and material for best results for the community. I like what we got. We just need to write it down to get it in the ARC. A motion to accept these.
Johanna.
Oh.
seconded it.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Not opposed, motion carries. Beautiful.
We'll include that report in the minutes.
So that's gotta go in the ARC rewrite. And then we're gonna send it out.
Probably like a shape, style. You know, yeah, what we,
Dark roofs aren't the best option here.
We got some back talk, guys.
sorry.
Okay, next thing I had on here was ARC notice and mailing.
We were talking about, we were talking about changing the names of the ARC and make the final adjustments after we did this last month.
So what I want to do is, I want to make a motion to get the ARC mailing out this month. Which means you're gonna work on this?
Yeah.
We'll pass it around to the board, make our final edits and changes, and we could do that via email and then just approve sending it out.
This is
All
gonna-
right.
For everybody, what's the process for getting that finalized? You mail it out.
Well, we're gonna do a mail out of some sort. I don't know. It's probably gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be envelope yet. I guess this is the conversation, right? How do we want to mail this out? We're definitely not gonna mail out the ARC. It's gonna cost a fortune. We're gonna mail out a link to where you get the ARC, or you're more than welcome to come down to the lake house and we'll gladly print you a copy. That's not the question. The question is, do we want to do postcards? Do we want to do envelopes? Do we want to mail everyone, or do we want to stick to what we normally do, which is everyone that's on digital that has elected for digital communications? We could do we could do it in e-blast out, as I do through MailChimp. We could also do the e-blast out through AppFolio and through Facebook. Hit up all those 3, and then we'll mail our ones that have elected to not have.
I vote for the last one option.
Okay.
What is that?
The sending the email and then only mailing the ones that elect for a hard physical copy for a postcard.
I tend to agree. And just for anyone listening here, it's not a mail of with a vote. There's no vote on this. It's just that you're all aware that the change will be happening and voted in at the next board meeting. So if you do have any objections, that's your time to bring it to the table before we actually vote it in the motion. Okay, Joanne, you want to motion that?
Yeah, I motion that we approve the mail out via the option that the residents have selected for communication this month.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Didn't hear that.
Mac, you there?
Aye.
Beautiful. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Matt. Okay, new business, Sunrise Landscaping proposal.
We also have Haley here from.
Okay.
It's
Nature Coast, that's right. I knew you were coming.
They had nature. For nature.
Do we want to talk about the Sunrise proposals first, real quickly?
Yes.
What's Patty, what's the recommendation? If there's a ton of proposals here and at the end of the day, the reality is we don't have money. We, especially not for PV and so right at the moment.
And the problem is with Sagewood, we wanted to do this erosion control. This one's in color, so you can see. And that's what I talked about, Mark helped me talk about in my management report. So. This is the erosion. Do you want to talk about the erosion stuff that you could put down?
Yes, so it's kind of environmental, it's more ground up, like tree stump and things like that, so where it's gonna stay in place better, whereas if you were to take a pitchfork and scoop a regular mulch, like we have, kind of fall at a time, this stuff really clings together and it's hard to pull apart, it really binds together and will. So the thought is the amount of water that's produced, say, there's no point in spending money to put grass that we're not gonna maintain it. This is a very low cost solution that looks natural for the last few years, won't go anywhere. We'll put that under control weeds, kind of a pretty low cost maintenance reduction.
What's the cost on this one?
This one is
2,500. Now, and so we have some, I see it. We have some sense of urgency to do this.
at least to start one to make sure it works before the bad weather comes, because we have 5 children.
And Sagewood is in the red, but Jason had alluded to me, they have 0 delinquencies, so they're right on par. So we could potentially pull this out of Sagewood's contingency and refund it as they approach black. Like, correct me, Jason.
And Sean gave thumbs up and so did Kevin.
Let's see if we can get a picture of it passed around.
I'm not sure. I don't think between the houses.
Yeah.
So is this every house that had any grass and things in it? What is it one house? Is it 2 houses?
There's 5 houses that are in the worst condition, because we walked the property the other day, so this is gonna be the first one that we try, if the board approves it.
So the 2,500 house,
Well, it's in between 2 houses.
right, so it's one location.
One location.
Per location.
Well, excuse me, it's gonna be mulching, but down in lieu of grass.
Yes.
This is your solution to that drainage problem.
Correct.
And all the non-growing grass, which I can grow, because I actually went and bought 6 slabs of grass, laid it down myself, put it down there, water it, it's still fine. Oh, this whole process is still, I think of it very, in addition to the smart thing, I'm partner like it. Because there's a lot of issues that, they just don't, I have these guys come in, they'll edge, they edge their yard. Instead of actually edging, I don't know if it's they're told they have to make a mark that they did there. I grew up, they're moving on 2 or 4 miles. It's, there's a dead piece of ground that has it looks like simple. It's regular been I did myself. The reason why I did myself, is if I had to get to it.
Sure, but I just want to stick to this topic so we can move on, because we are.
It's all related.
I know, it's related to landscaping, I get it, but I really just want to discuss this, whether we should be approving this 2,500. Thank you, I appreciate that, I do.
Did you fix your own?
Yes,
So what did it look like before? You had, all the dirt was washed out?
dirt, the one kind of, 2 houses, one's outside, one's inside. So naturally, this house, all the dirt washes away. my side, it's not the, mulch will stay up there, no problem, now I can grass a little bit. I put some down myself, actually, I put pavers between, our house, mine and the neighbor, which was approved by the, you know, architecture review board. Those did fine, now, so they put grass in front and back of that, which is growing perfectly fine. They did this, I guess, in the last time they had a budget problem, where they could do it. No problem. Since then, I actually took the rest of myself because I'm tired of watching dirt go down the middle of our yard. If he's gonna put mulch down, just mulch, what's gonna prevent that from washing out?
So that's one of the things that Tom was just saying. It's not just mulch, it's much heavier and it won't wash out. So that's why the price is so much higher than just mulch too. You said, Tom said, like, there's no point in putting mulch down.
This is a one-time mulch cost?
This sounds like, Tom, if I'm
This is really control mulch. This is not dark mulch, as you know, right? So it doesn't come apart. In fact, in a lot of areas, back in Maine where I came from, it's used on incredibly steep slopes. It comes apart so hard, a lot of times we use an excavator with a thumb and kind of push the stuff around. I wouldn't say it's a lifetime solution. Eventually it's going to be freshened up, but it's probably got a 5-year lifespan. You know what I mean? It's going to gray out and look natural. And I appreciate that, and I would agree that people are putting grass in right now, but it's not the summer rains that walked out those gullies. It's like the reason that there was no grass there and you put grass in, it was lost to erosion. It's going to continue to happen. I would say it's either this or gutter or something to keep the water out of those areas, because that's the way the drainage goes from the wall all the way down to the front street. It's just a grading issue, and it's a low cost solution that I think will look nice. We looked at stone as an option. Enough of the size of the stone, that water is not going to carry it down. You couldn't walk on it. It wouldn't be a comfortable solution. You guys would have, it would be a real pain in the ass to walk back and forth. This is going to be manageable. You can walk on it. It looks natural. It'll keep the bark nuggets that we use in the beds. It'll also kind of leave a lip up and will help retain what's going. It's a good solution for low cost, and the cost, even like to be a little bit more transparent. This is a test. I think I could do it quicker if I brought a machine in and kind of just pulled the stuff out. I don't want to tear it long to do this. I'm going to do this by hand. I've already committed to both Patty and Kathy, sorry. That if this takes half the time that I'm envisioning because it's so much work, this is a test. It takes half the time, we're going to go half the time. Let's just see how it goes. See how you guys like it, what it looks like, how easy it is to install, and we can go from there and get it after that.
There's only like maybe 5 houses that have this sort of problem.
I agree.
This is only like 5. My other issue is mulching. I don't know why anybody would order to put bark mulch down, spring magnet, cockroach magnet. I don't know why people do that. But reference lived in Florida all my life, you know, I was.
Are you gonna fill the gullies that have formed from the rain that goes through all the dirt before you do this, or do you? We're gonna follow it.
We're going to spray fill what remaining grass is there.
Or do you?
Not active. Some of them have grass, very little bit on points and pieces and along the edges, mostly where the torrent of water passes by. We're gonna fill that, pull that out. Medium duty landscape fabric, the whole
I'm talking
area.
about the rocks that the water has made.
So we'll degrade all that. So degrade all that, we're gonna put some landscape fabric down and solid stable, galvanized stable, help prevent weeds. And then we're gonna put, about 3 or 4 inches of this stuff in, it'll compact down and be a nice smooth surface.
Perfect.
I think it's worth a test.
I think it's worth the test. I think that's the whole point to it. We're gonna do one out for 1 year.
If it doesn't work, we pull it out and.
What's that?
Come up with
I
something.
think it's gonna work.
It's not designed to stop the water and not stop the water. It's designed to look good and let the
That's
water
what-
pass through and not.
That's what I did.
involved. Those little bark nuggets, I think it's the bark nuggets, they like migrate the water.
Better one person, they want us to pick them.
For all purposes, the way it's built is, water can flow forward to the street, that's what it's supposed to be green.
It is,
Supposed to.
you will not do that.
So do we have a motion?
Yeah, I mean, I'll make a motion to approve this trial run at 2,500.
Second.
John seconds. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, no opposed, motion carries.
Kathy was good with this one too. The next one is the golden trumpet tree. We're right over here.
Thanks for that.
Well, it's big empty space.
Yes.
Mhm.
John says we have the money for it. So,
How much is it?
1832.50.
3250, and this is for the master.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna put a tree in over here. Anyone have any objections about that?
Mhm.
Where exactly is
It's
it?
from the master.
Right up front.
Yes, from the master.
We lost this big tree up over here.
So right there, yeah.
Right there. Oh, it fell down and almost took out the sign over here. This is right in front by the lake house, guys, just in case anyone's wondering. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. What else we got that's pressing?
The tree stumps or something?
Well,
Concern,
So that- Where is it?
Sagewood. But Tom will and he'll. Some kind, and then put grass around it.
Stump grinding sod for what looks to
780.
be 789. Sagewood again. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Stump removal, that's in Sagewood, and some sod put in to cover up the hole.
Oh, there, is this all going to have to come from a contingency fund?
Right now, yes, but on a positive note, Sagewood has no delinquencies, so they're on track to be able to afford all this one way or the other, but right now, we'll pull it from their contingencies.
Okay.
Sound like you're-
what's there's labor subcontractor, labor sunrise. What's the subcontractor doing?
grinding?
So the subcontractor grinds and then sunrise pushes.
I mean, we come in and take all the grinding away, put in, probably at least 4 inches of a good solid topsoil and then sod.
Okay.
I will make a motion to approve 789.50.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
none opposed, motion carried. Anything else?
Nope, that's it for them.
Beautiful. Okay, so the rest of that, hold on, the list was bigger. But
Yeah.
How do I have here? I have metal roof info, but we went through that. I'm sorry. folks.
Do we want to do Kelly?
Yes, I forgot. I did, I'm sorry.
Just so you know, the last time that I was here when I originally proposed this was before the late season storms. So it's good that y'all got through the late season storm to get some issues here. But 2 of the things that I was looking at have already been completed by your current company. So I only want to talk about 2 of the proposals that I made.
Man, I'm sorry, not everybody in the room might not know. You
Oh.
can introduce yourself.
Lake house and Sagewood and around the pool, which I think has already been completed with all the concrete trimming and all that. All the invasive stuff that was growing around the playground, which by the way was fabulous in my opinion, I think it was great. Because that's what I wanted to do, I wanted to clean that out. But the things that are still an issue are there are several dead and dying trees in Sagewood. And so we're lucky that nothing happened with that during the storms because, and there needs some maintenance currently needs to be done there on a regular basis. Bigger trees, the ages of most of those trees over there is over 50. They were there before the subdivision was. Those need to be trimmed usually every 3 to 5 years. Only young trees need to be trimmed every year. A lot of these trees around here are that age, but some of them are younger. There's a few issues around here where there are sable ponds, which is, some people call them cabbage ponds. They're the native pond that grows through the sea thatch on the trunk of it. A lot of times it's on the side of the road, growing in the woods. You have some of them growing up in the middle of your libraries. It's just not a good situation for the sable pond or the library. So I would remove some of those. So there's stuff that needs to be taken off the building, stuff that's getting too low that can cause a hazard, and a few, I wouldn't call it a sable palm invasive, because it's native to Florida, but a squirrel planted that, so it wasn't meant to be there, and it's going to do damage to your live oaks. And I think that your live oaks here, especially now that you have this clean out done here, that should be the start of this show, not a weed. So that's what I was proposing to do. And I don't know if you still have the proposals in your file, but I brought a couple of copies if you want to look at them. There are more than one, from what I understand, one of those trees or a tree was removed over there.
A while ago, before, after,
Oh, that was before me and after me,
that was before you came.
before me. There's still at least two over there that need to be removed. And so, and one of them, from what I recall, needs a permit to be removed, so I would pull a permit to do that too. They can require you to plant another tree to replace it, that's up to Hillsborough County, I don't have any control over that, that's called mitigation. If they make you do mitigation, I can help you with the mitigation, picking out the tree, et cetera, because it can't be, like, for instance, a golden trumpet tree. They're gonna want you to plant a Florida native shade tree that's approved by the University of Florida, and there's a list of them, and kind of gotta decide where you're gonna do that. Doesn't need to be in the same place, although you have a lot of open land over there, so why not, you know? But yeah, I would help you with that after, but basically I will take care of all that. When I do the jobs, I'm not the one that's gonna be doing the job, I have a crew that does it, I just supervise it, and I would be here on site supervising the crew. When I remove stuff from around this building, it's in the proposal, everything needs to be 36 inches away from the roof line of the structure. And all the other roofs need to be lifted to where the canopy is parallel to the ground or slightly higher, because that's to ANSI standards, to the standards of the ISA, which is the International Society for Horticulture. These trees are Florida native trees, they're protected, I don't want to ruin the way that it looks here, so I'm not gonna come in here and scout the trees or anything. But there's some issues here that just need to be dealt with. And probably an annual visit needs to happen, to look and see, is there any diseases going on? Is there too much leaf litter that's getting close to the roots? Because once you trim these trees that haven't been trimmed for a while, they're gonna go crazy with growth in springtime. Hopefully, I'm going to plant it where they won't need to be trimmed for 3 to 5 years. And there's a few out here also that are just not in a good spot that need to come down.
Now, was this just, these two quotes, these just sagewood?
No, one of them, there's a separate proposal for the lake house, and then there's one for sagewood. I did not do a proposal for trimming, because at the time, when Patty and I talked, we were more worried about what is the top priority for this little community there, which was removing the hazardous trees, anything that's a danger to persons or property. Going there and doing maintenance, I would do a separate thing to do that. But like I said, most of the trees in that particular area are old enough where you're not gonna be doing that every year. I might come by and take a look every year, you know, as part of my normal, when I, you know, have a client that has this many trees, you know, things happen, storms happen, stuff happens. But you're probably not going to be spending, like, for instance, the maintenance here around this building, that should only be every 3 to 5 years, because I'm gonna do it all at once. That's for everything. As far as over there, I haven't done a maintenance proposal yet. I can. It just didn't come up. That's.
So this is, and for anyone new here, we've actually talked about this a while. We've known for a while that we have hazardous trees. These need to be dealt with this year. I don't know if they need to be dealt with today, they need to be dealt with this year. The cost here to, with what she's speaking of right now, just to cover our most hazardous issues, runs about $16,000. This is not necessarily a cheap venture.
It's 10,000 to do hazardous trees,
To do
right?
hazardous
And then
trees.
6 for the trimming around the lake house.
Those are the trees behind
I'm sorry?
the game room.
Everything over here that we looked at in this area, including what's over by the water and stuff like that, it's just everything over here. And that was not including cleaning that out, because I did separate for that, but that's already been done. So,
Jason, when you say we planned for it,
We plan for, say, 5 or 6 trees. They would. Per year.
did we plan for it and they're operating though?
It's not their operating, it's on their
That's the only reason I don't want to approve it. I know we approved some things already, but I don't blow that out of the water. For fear there's any trouble in the next 2 months.
Right.
And just to keep this in perspective too, you have a little bit of time before hurricane season starts. You know, so if I was doing this, you could do one thing at a time, one thing 1 month, one thing another month, you know, things like that. And then I could worry about the maintenance closer to summertime, you know, and get all that done. So you wouldn't be $16,000 all at once, but this is a lot of work. Yeah, this is a lot of work. So my crew's gonna be here for over a day, just doing the trees here.
Sure.
And then I might be able to get those trees down in a day, but probably not. And also that includes cleanup and dumping and things like that. It does not include stump grinding. So it does not include stump grinding, although I can quote some. But at the time, it was like, what needs to get done with stump grinding is not emergency. That's the way I. I know. We're preaching to the choir. Unfortunately, Hillsborough County considers a tree alive, but that's one leaf on it. The last time I was here, one of the trees still has some foliage. So I would have to confirm to do that. The permit is not expensive. It's like $86 and that's Hillsborough County. However, if you have to do mitigation, there's an expense involved in that, but it's not that much. It's not like the price of that.
What's the time frame that you have to?
In Hillsborough County, it's usually like 7 to 14 days.
Yeah. I'm inclined, just looking at their numbers, like I'm inclined, I know we need to do it, I know we're gonna do it. We've already spent more money than the red today thus far. I'm inclined to say, let's table it. I'm gonna throw an old business and we'll address it next month. When we have new fresh digits to look at.
Okay. I just, Patty just wanted me to talk to you all.
No, that's fantastic. That's what we need, right?
I wanted to ask a question.
Sure.
Like I'm looking at the lake house here. You mentioned that maybe it could be done in phases and pieces.
So the more times I have to mobilize a crew out here, there's dumping fees. I gotta go to the dump, you know, I gotta pay 2 guys to go to the dump and pay, because it's not like you guys, if I can't just go to the dump and dump stuff, they make me pay for it. So I was talking about doing this in one phase and then doing the safe with it, removals in one phase and then doing the safe planning in another. So it's not something where I want to come out here and do half of this, because just being completely honest, I live no guessing. So, this isn't, you know, I do work Hillsborough County and Pasco County, and I'm pretty centrally located between it all, but this is as far out as I can go with my crew. And so it took me an hour and 40 minutes just to come to this meeting, this happened. I don't know how you guys stand it. So it's not something that I would want to do that way. It would be an additional charge because of mobilization and dumping and everything.
How long are the permits good for once you pull
A year.
them? A year. So can we get her to pull the permits for the trees now and then, once we say go?
So I'm happy to do that, but I would want the money in advance for the permits, because once you have those permits, anybody else can do it. You know, and so
How much do you want?
So the permit's not just for you, the permits.
the permits that you can lose and create. Yeah, if I pull the permit for you, and Hillsborough County is paying the butt because their permit is the longest application of any of them that I do, of course. And it's like 8 pages long. And yeah, I charge $50 a pull too. There's like administrative. So if I pull a permit for you and then you hire some, you know, chucking a truck with a ladder to cut the tree down, I lost $86.10 plus my time. So I hope you understand that too. And I did not put that in a proposal because I didn't know when I was gonna do it, and if the tree's actually dead, I don't need it. I need to go look at the tree. also I need to mark the tree before it's an inspector is gonna come out here, or he's gonna send it to run out here, believe it or not. Look at the tree. So I have to look the ribbon and stuff, like I have to do some stuff, right, I do that. And I would just do a separate, like, invoice this permanent one. Okay.
No, I think that's great. Kathy had commented here too. She's on Zoom or not, but, yeah, she wants to table this as well, just so that we all know what this about was. I'm all for doing it. We're gonna do it. I want to see these numbers looking a little bit better before we go full $16,000.
Yeah.
They still have other stuff we gotta spend money.
Right, it says 2 to 3 weeks to get the permit.
In Hillsborough County, 7 to 14 days. If you're in the city,
Prove
you
it
can't
at
have
the
it
next meeting. You know, looking
Yeah.
into mid
Seven.
April to get it filled out.
You know, we've been sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
I'm okay, as long as we get it done before hurricanes.
Yeah,
That ultimately, that's the goal, get this done before hurricanes.
Next week.
no.
Can we keep this?
Oh, yeah, they're bringing those out. And I already sent that to Patty along with our certificate of insurance. Right now, we have liability office workers. She has on there. I think our new certificate comes out every March, so I'll send you a new one, when it's ready. You get our W-9, I don't know if I sent you that or not.
I think you do.
Just whatever you need, I'll send it to you and I'll keep it up to date.
Save Mark, it's not sitting well.
It doesn't, I'm really, I mean, we're gonna do it anyway, right? We have to. To me, if it's endangering people's houses, the sooner we get it done, the better. How deadly are these trees? I mean,
So right now, first of all, the trees that are over there are not really close to houses. One that was close to a house already fell down. So, they're kind of in an open area. They're close to that fence over there, which is kind of an expensive fence. So a heavy piece fall, people don't realize how heavy a light. Or the native guy will tell you, if you've got a small branch off of a light bulb, you think you can pick it up, it's heavy.
Okay.
Even if it's dead.
if it's not near people's houses, then I'm
It's
good.
not,
putting it
people's
on.
houses are not getting 200 on that fence either. But if this was like July, August, I mean, you need to cut this down. This big piece could fly over there in the first. But maybe it's something that happens. You know,
Brings along a walking track.
Yeah.
You know, where it's-
And the one I was focused on was the lake house area. Because as it gets warmer and warmer, we get more and more people around here. So,
So Jason, we need 16,000 by July.
Okay.
Okay.
Matt, Johanna, do you have any weight here? Table it a month, do it now.
I put down to table it. That's, I mean, if what I'm hearing, it's not right next to houses, if that's correct, and not needs to be immediate. That's
Okay.
what I'm gathering.
Make a motion to table.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I concur. But I do like the idea of getting it all lined up so that it's ready to go. And even if we have to pay for that, that's, you know what I mean? Pay for the permitting process so that it's queued up and ready to go, like Mark said. I think that's probably a prudent course of action too.
Okay, so motion to table. Do I hear a second?
Hold on.
Second.
Just one other thing, when it gets closer to hurricane season, I'm busy. So if we're gonna like plan to do this, you know, it's not like you guys can call me, be like, hey, can you do it like next week? Like sometimes I'm booked in advance, like weeks in advance. So if you were gonna do it at your next meeting, you might wanna say, hey, let's do this the week of blah, blah, as long as it's far ahead. Cause I'm not as busy right now, obviously. So, but I don't wanna disappoint you when it's July, you know, so like I can't get to it next month, you know?
I actually, I know we're in the middle of a motion, but I agree with that 100%. I'm still in agreement. Let's table this for this month. Next month, that's exactly what I put out for a recommended motion that we approve and schedule you out to where we think it needs to be done this way. If you're on your schedule, it's going to get done. And we'll have the fun. Sounds good. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
And Tom can leave now too, right?
Yes, Tom, sorry. Thank you. Thank you for both.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
We'll make it up, you guys want me to go.
Yeah, I got it.
You can go out that.
I locked that door. You can go out that one. Yep.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay, I only have three other items real quick. Girl Scout meetings, did anyone get a chance to see that email from Jennifer Depew? She wants to have Girl Scout meetings here. I have no problem with it. We can get her key fob. Anyone have any objections to that?
No,
Nope.
There was a current Girl Scout group that comes.
Yeah. I used to be the Boy Scout.
I motion to approve the request for the Girl
Second.
Scouts.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, motion carries. Yoga class. Okay, right, I didn't put an attachment. I forgot. What is her name? That I couldn't currently do?
Amanda.
Yes, Amanda. Amanda is doing our yoga classes. We had originally set it where she gets to Lake House for free really early on a Sunday morning. Saturday morning. And I think it was until she had like 10 participants and then we were gonna start charging her. She does not have 10 participants yet. She's still requesting to do the classes. She's also requesting to change the hours maybe.
And yeah, I
Um,
don't have it in front of me.
How's everyone feel about it? For me, my personal opinion on this, it's not a money grab for us. I want the community to be that wants to do yoga to come do the yoga class. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a good, I would continue doing it. Honestly, my thoughts is of what I've heard and seen, a lot of the bigger groups, they'll rather just do it outside in an open area. So this is probably going to continue being just a small group for those that really, are residents here that just really want to come in and do it despite the weather. So on those days. So I would continue allowing it. I think it's beneficial for those mom groups that would like to continue doing it.
I do too. Kathy had just texted me. She's all in favor of it too. My question, Jennifer, I forgot, what time does she do it now on Saturday?
She's been doing it from 8 to 9.
Because of her rentals. She still wants to do Saturdays 8 to 9. I remember she had an email in.
Yeah, she was also looking at maybe doing outside too.
It's in here. Yeah, even if she wants to do it outside and change the hour, I'll leave that up to you. You know the schedule in there better than anyone, so. I'll make a motion to allow Amanda to continue her yoga classes free of charge from the board.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. Oh, I had one sneak item. I just emailed you all. I apologize. I'm talking about it now because of time. Actually, I apologize. We have two items. Yeah. Signs, Matt, Johannan, Kathy, if you're there, I hope you saw that email that was sent out not too long ago. You had a quote. We need to get our signs redone. I know we talked about this a few times. So new schedule is going into effect March 1st. The access control is going up March 1st. All the signage is incorrect. So we're kind of under a time crunch to get this done so that it's correct and looks right. We've called a gazillion companies. We can't get anyone out that actually makes custom signs, unfortunately. This is the only quote we got, and it's probably the only one we're going to get anytime in the near future. And I didn't leave myself a copy. So basically, we have two signs at the dog park that I'm going to use as an example. There's two posts. There's one at the large gate and there's one at the small gate. other than faded, they're in fairly decent condition. They are heavily faded and the times are wrong on them. There's no way to change the hour. So we need to remake those signs. So this is a price that he's looking at. It looks like he's doing 2 units of 276, 935. It's not horrible for those signs. And they're gonna have interchangeable plates that we could change the hours and the times for future need. That's a given, we need that. And then the pools, I put 5 down there for the pools because at the pool, we have nothing on the outside main entrance. So if the pool gates are closed and you can't get in, you have no clue why, because nothing's telling you what the hours to the pool is. When you're inside the pool, there is one, again, we need to replace it, it's heavily faded, it needs to come off the wall. We're going to be repainting the pool sometime soon in the pool house. And you can't change the times on it. We then also have no signs of any of the other gates, which we used to. They've broken, they've fallen apart, they've been thrown out. So I was hoping, JR, we could plant some 4x4s, paint them black over there by each gate and get a sign at each gate. This way everyone knows what the hours are in the pool. The no skateboarding signs, you can ignore that. We got them off Amazon for pennies on the dollar. The only thing I wanted to add that's not in here, I'm looking for maybe an additional $600 on this. And I don't know why he forgot to include it, but we need one for here at the lake house, because the lake house now has hours from March 1st of when it can be used. It's not just closed all the time. Same thing with the game room. The game room now has hours, so we need to have a sign up there posting hours. So I'm really looking for to spend, about $3,000. Probably a little less, but I don't know how long it's gonna take. These are custom signed, custom built. It's not like the vinyl guy down the street. So I kind of want to get a jump on this.
So, but you're saying about $3,000 for all of it, or is that for one?
All of it.
Okay. Well, I would approve that. We do need signage.
I make a motion, we approve it.
Okay, seconded.
Is this the going rate for signs?
$300. There is. The dog park ones are huge. There's some better kind.
And Jason, we got the money in the master to cover this?
Should be, it's in the green.
Yeah.
Do the signs of producer. Mac, you made a motion or second? I'm sorry.
I made a motion to approve all $3,000.
And I seconded.
And a second.
Up to 3,000?
Up to 3,000.
Up to 3,000.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No one's opposed, motion carries. Thank you, everyone, on that one. We have one last one here that I know JR was working with Will. I think Will's been working with Patty. Estimate on lights for the outside. We have. Patty, I'm sorry, this is the cheap one, the $427 one. This was for.
The 30 LED lights with the, Will, are you able to talk?
Yeah, so that is to get rid of the CFLs, the compact fluorescents, and go to an LED solution with a 5-year warranty. And it was 30 lamps for $427.31. That's what that was for. That was JR needed 30 lamps. I believe it was the lake house and the pool. I believe that's what it was.
Just all.
Yes. So that's the price for those. That was the lowest price I could find and the cost I can get. And the other one was the 10 was the landscaping lights that we picked out that night, the 4K that we put in the on the tree. I only quoted 10. I figured we could start small so we wouldn't spend a lot. And I'm thinking if we all look at it, let's start from the lake back towards the back of the lake house because it's really dark in that area. We have enough lighting in the parking lot and we can slowly move our way to the front of the house. Does that sound right?
That sounds great to me.
That's the only location where they're at. That's one thing that we brought up during one of our.
Was lighting.
Black lighting for vandalism, whatever. People, it doesn't require much. Just go unnoticed. By camera.
I walked it with Jennifer today, and I'd like to walk it with a few other people to show you. There's a few areas that are really super dark, like around the playground area. I think we should put, at least put 2 there. Because if some kids or somebody gets on that and falls, I mean, it's so dark, at least light up the umbrellas of the tree to make it look nice. And it was also show, someone no one would get hurt. And then around the lake house in the back, the lake coming up, there's a few areas that need to be addressed for lighting for safety issues. And it would still make the umbrellas of the trees look really nice.
Is there like a map of where the proposed lighting will be going, so we're not doubling up efforts, what we're trying to also do?
I have a suggestion here. I don't know if there necessarily is, but why don't I get you in touch with Will and Patty to walk the property and
Yeah.
the 3 of you just.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah, we could do that.
We'll be adding more of these.
Right,
This is
yeah,
just-
that's what I'm saying, we might. Especially with all of what's already being
Right,
done,
exactly.
just add on to that, not maybe done.
Right, yeah, Patty, can you send an email to those 2 and make sure. My first motion is to approve the 30 bulbs. Or under. I don't know that one.
2730.
2731.
2731, motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unopposed, motion carries. Beautiful. Okay, the second one. So I know we're gonna need more, but right now these are $1,171.75. I think it's worth the 10. My only question that I had earlier is, I think we could pull this out of reserve because this is not a bulb replacement. It's not maintenance. It's an entire housing replacement with ballasts because our ballasts have currently failed. So my motion would be to transfer from the reserves $1,171.75 to operating to make this purchase.
Oh, you just want to pay it out of reserves.
We're gonna pay that.
That's what it's- okay.
I would approve that.
Second,
Why don't you want to prefer that operating?
because it's a reserve item.
Is it?
I mean, we can, I like to keep it, in my opinion, is if it's a reserve item, it needs to come out of reserve, because otherwise we're never spending reserves on what they're intended for, and we're always running out.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
So these are all replacing lights that are there, right?
replacing lights. Now,
The house.
that being said, we might be not replacing lights that are there and moving them around. So maybe not all of the future lights will be, but we know at least 10 of them are shot.
Right.
Are reserved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Was it Mark the second or John?
You could put me down for seconded.
All right, perfect. I think we're on to resident comments now. I don't think we have anything else. to do. The fence line cut back,
Oh, everyone of the 2.
nothing I got here, but hold on. Oh, one of the proposals, okay.
The table.
Well, I'll scan it.
Let's look at it, hold on.
You said table because you have money for it.
Fence line cut back, Patty, landscaping proposal, stage one.
We have it there, but we don't have the money for it.
How much
I'm
is
just gonna wait.
I think it's behind your.
800. Page 23.
5 feet along the fence. But when you make that change to the zone, and give us another 15.
There you
You're saying behind the fence?
If you go look, they came through about 3 years ago and surveyed the retaining wall. 5 feet on the far side of the retaining wall belongs to us. Unless stakes with ribbons on top. Then when they came up and had the zoning meeting, we put 42 townhouses there that they zoned in 1986. Which are probably built if they ever built. We got to give us another 15-foot buffer area. In addition to the 5 feet. Because otherwise the street was gonna run, their street was gonna end up running into the back of houses. Like mine, for instance, I was right at the end of the street.
Yeah.
And their tree mitigation has to be dedicated first to that 15 feet.
Okay, so, I think
But it's,
Patty didn't,
it's still the fence line is best.
It is. But the county, and that's why I was listening so intently, because the county shows that we do own the retail.
what's your suggestion?
We need to try.
Your suggestion is spend the 828. There we go. Board, Patty's suggestion is spend the 828 and get the trimming completed. They are in the red, but again, we spent some money and it's not a huge dollar amount, so I could go either way with it.
Concur.
All right. What was that amount again?
I'll make a motion to approve the 828 for the fence line cutback and save it.
Seconded by Mac.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, resident input. Do we have any? No? Okay, folks. I will call motion to adjourn the meeting.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
See you guys.